What's up, guys? Just got done pulling the primary on the shovel head, so that's all done. Inner and outer are removed. Got to figure out the seal situation and start ordering some parts for that one or digging through boxes, but it's a beautiful day and I'm not on a bike, I'm not riding, I'm not on the boat, all of the other things that I would really like to be doing today. I think I'm gonna cut this out, at least the face. Obviously I can't get back in here, but I'll just cut this down here and at least get this gone. And then we can see what's underneath and start going from there. We got the roof rough primed with some self-etch. I painted it here and we got a pretty gnarly crosswind, so it's been blowing up dust. I got a ton that I gotta sand out of here. Ooh, I didn't notice that until just now. There's another big old dent right here. Son of a... Different video, different time, but just throw you guys on the tripod and then I'll just start hacking away at this, and then eventually we'll get around to doing that at the other shop and hacking the new panel up. Cue the music. Shop rag. I don't know why. What else we got? Some rivet ends of some sort, looks like. But, oh, I've been putting that off for a very long time. Obviously, I still need to get into this back area and trim all that down, but I can't do that. Whew, that wind's still blowing. I can't do that until the bed comes off. But this gives me a much bigger space to work with. And then we just gotta finish cutting this. I might actually cut the top of this if I can get into it with this blade. No, we're gonna hold off. I need a smaller one. I don't have enough room over here to do that with a 4-inch disc without cutting into this. And then the passenger side rocker is rock solid, so I don't want to mess with anything over here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 spot welds, 4 or 5 spot welds down here we'll have to do, but that's it. I didn't know how I wanted to cut the body line. I didn't want to come all the way up to the curve. I know structurally when you weld on the curves it's stronger, but then I got to sit here trying to file all of that down, grind the welds down, and then build up a lip and then try and remake the body line. Whereas this, we can just zip all of this away, butt weld it. It should be pretty close to that seam. Got an inch there. And I'll definitely be taking my time and switching the wire on that one. So I think that should work for now. I don't like having a big exposed area, so we'll try and avoid driving this in the rain if at all possible. But she's cut. Now it's just kind of clean up down here. I'm assuming this probably gets a spot weld of some sort somewhere up in here. We'll pound that one back in, and then this side's in pretty good shape. Even the lower inner rocker isn't too bad here. We got a little bit of surface rust, but nothing major. So I think I'm actually just gonna blast that real quick, and I might shoot some primer on this while it's sitting here. Seems like a good idea. Then we hit carpet real quick there, so don't want to leave this open very long, but that's the hard part. Inner structure is still there, the sound deadening or whatever. Gooey stuff is still there. And we're getting to this before this rots all of that away. Which is why we're rushing, because we're in the Midwest and they salt everything heavily, and I'm hoping that this will not necessarily be a regular winter driver out here. So, got the panel out of here. Now we need to trim this down to make that kind of work. I just put the 23 wire in there too, so that should help with heat. And then I gotta figure out exactly what I'm gonna do on this back area. Obviously the bed needs to come off to do the final welding, but I really don't wanna be driving this around with exposed carpet and insulation in here, so I wanna at least get the face of this done. And then honestly, whatever kind of happens in the back side of the cab shouldn't really matter all that much, because you're never gonna see it. But if I can get the face of this done, I gotta grab the spot weld drill and get this section off that I didn't cut yet, and then we'll just tie into that. Or maybe do I want to run the cap around here, or do I want to just butt weld it on this seam? We'll see what we want to do with that one. I think it would probably make more sense just to drill these 4 spot welds and yank this panel off and then see how this one goes. But I left a little bit of an edge there, even if I come out to this corner maybe, and then we recut that shape. I don't know. Let me start trimming on this panel at least. We'll get the top section cut off so we can kind of see what we're working with. Panel is cut. Here's what we're working with now. And hopefully I left that long enough. It was supposed to be. But let's get this door out of here. This is kind of what we're working with here. So obviously it's trying to stretch around these pieces here. But more like an inch long, which is kind of what I expected. So let me start. have to trim some more of this out too. Maybe they'll just tut this bottom and then patch in this back corner area. I'm fighting all sorts of fitment issues here right now because of the old stuff that's left. More to do. It's actually not too far off. So we'll have a little trimming down here, and then this needs to get moved up, and we'll grind that down. It's hanging up on the back side here because I haven't trimmed this out yet. So this is hanging over all the excess sheet metal. So I'll have to figure something out for that. Honestly, that's not too bad. So this will kind of land there just like that. Pretty much flush along the bottom. Well, that's going to show up. Have to drill a bunch of holes in there for spot welds, but a little bit of an overhang here, which is okay. That's what I wanted. And just this rear area that I'm kind of stuck on. I don't know what I want to do without having the bed off. So basically right now I can actually use this template here. I'm pretty happy with this. Might notch out this little corner too, actually. But we'll lay this out to the point where it's flush along the bottom for spot welds down there. And then I'll notch this little window out. That should let me pull this in a little bit. And then I'm probably just gonna follow this panel line with the grinder, and then it should kind of drop in theory. Obviously that would be too big of a gap, but that drops this a little too low. So we need to come up just a smidge. All right, so right there. I figured, think on this back part a little bit, but. All right, this is not the right way to do it, but since I'm doing this in parts, it's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass. I think I'm actually gonna separate the wraparound section. I'm gonna cut this out and re-weld it once the bed's off, but this will allow me to kind of get all of this section in. And I do still have some good sheet metal up here, but then I can kind of patch in this outer corner using these pieces. But I think I should just pull the bed off, but I need this to pick up another skid of sand next week. So I'm going to cut out here. I'll stay inside of that curve, I think. Maybe a little higher. I'm trying to eyeball this, but next to impossible to see. Whatever. It's just metal, right? Cut weld. Something like that. Pretty much on the spot welds now. So here's the panel I pulled off. Good sheet metal up here. I'm pretty close in this area. And it looks like about here. So I can cut this along there. But I'm almost wondering if I should just... because it's going to be really easy to get this panel section back in here after the fact, I think. I'm pretty much on the spot welds down below. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna rip this section off, and then there's gonna be a little hole that we gotta patch later. Making more work for myself. But tis what it is. More grinding. Now we got this pretty much laid out where it needs to be. Ideally, I think I'm actually going to tack in a couple sections on this panel, and then we're going to cut it. Which way do I want to do that? I cut this on an angle. It should kind of level that out and pull this in exactly where it needs to be. And we'll follow this template as a guide. So let me get this prepped, sand down some of this stuff so we can kind of start jamming from there. Get rid of the cutting disc and put a flapper on there. Knock down some of this paint. This corner cut so I could get this piece in here and didn't realize that I cut across here, so a little more welding in that area. It's gonna make this kind of a pain too because it's real thin, but now that it's trimmed out, we should be in pretty good shape to start welding on this thing. I think I'm gonna grab the DA and just hit everything with an 80 grit real quick, get some metal showing, and then clear off an area on the bottom of this for the ground, and then we'll tack this panel in. The back we're gonna tackle later. When that beds off, and I can kind of mess with that and tweak that a little bit more if need be. I can cut out and repatch in what I need here, but I can't do anything with that with the bed on. We're ready to start burning this thing in. Hopefully the welder cooperates today. It's a little windier than I would like. More heat than that. Uh-huh. wire stopped feeding. Oh. This is why I didn't like using that 20 gauge wire. It tends to coil up a little bit more than it should. Why is this clogging up on me? Again. Wire broke. Nope. Had enough. Going back to the big wire. Keeps busting my welder. I don't know if it's just a bad spool or what. Oh. Okay, what a waste of time. It's unfortunate too, because those welds were actually going pretty good. Come on. A little windy for this outside today, but a little more room over here. All right. There we go. New wire, different gauge. Might have to tweak the settings a little bit, but the problem when you use thicker wire is it wants to put more heat in.
got engaged. Time passed, wedding day. Then my feet turned cold at the tone of those wedding bells. I felt bad, everybody got dressed up, but I knew I'd messed up, so I had to fess up that all I really wanted was just to get drunk as hell. So I jilted that poor woman and I got drunk as hell. I'm a talking about hellfire, yeah, hellfire, oh hellfire, that's where I'm bound. I'm a talking about hellfire, yeah, hellfire, oh hellfire, that's where I'm bound. Sinful, needing grace. Sunday morning, knew the place. So I stumbled into church and sat down for a spell. A few minutes in, I felt free of sin. So I polished up my bottle of bathtub gin and got stinking, dirty, awful, drunk as hell. Yeah, right there in the back pew, I got drunk as hell. I'm talking about hellfire, oh hellfire. That's where I'm bound. I'm talking about hellfire, yeah, hellfire, oh hellfire. That's where I'm bound. All right. Well, my drinking buddy passed away, lightweight, couldn't hang. So I filled my flask and went to say farewell. I stood in the back, dressed in black, tearing up and turning up and getting lit up. Good God, awful, greasy and drunk as hell. I cried, I'm coming for you, buddy. That's where I'm bound. I'm talking about hellfire, oh hellfire. That's where I'm bound. I'm talking about hellfire, oh hellfire, yeah, hellfire. That's where I'm
Well, that took a couple hours, but we got it in, so scuffed it down, 80 grit, so we're going to slather up some Bondo over here and kind of build this seam out. I think we should be all right. Try and level that, get it cleaned up, and then get a coat of primer on here. Definitely have some work to do on the back, but that's another day. So, and that's not a visible spot, so it's not going to matter nearly as much. This is what we're going to see. So I'm going to try and skim coat this just while I have motivation, because it's fading fast. Get some filler on here and see if I can get this thing in primer before I head home today. Well, it's been about 3 or 4 days, but I did finish up the rocker panel, at least the front side on this thing. So here's kind of what we're looking at. I tried filming it on the phone, but it was way too windy and the audio cut out. So got 2 spot welds, 3 spot welds to drill out, grind down in here. I left a tail on there too, but that's done. And the panel's in. The back is ugly and there's gaps, but I'll deal with that once the bed's off, and then we'll do the other side in one go. And then the same thing on the bottom. I did not put the spot welds in. It's close enough, it's ready to go, but that'll wrap this one up. So here is our mismatched primer truck. So we will do an actual 2K primer on this when I get around to it, but that's not going to be till the bed comes off. Then we'll do the cab front fenders, we'll pull the bumper and grill and tape everything off and do that in one shot, and we'll do 2 or 3 coats on the cab and then kind of mess with the bed. But huge blasting job this weekend, so I'm kind of prepping for that. Other than that, that's it for updates, so we'll catch you guys on the next one. We got some new stuff coming for the blast pot over there that you'll find out about in the next video, because I'm trying to upgrade. And again, if you're here for bike stuff all the time, we do a lot of bike stuff here. I do a lot of bike stuff here, but it's a never-ending struggle. I'm just kind of turning the camera on with whatever it is I'm working on, and I got a bunch of work I got to get done on that blast pot before I can actually start charging for commercial heavy-duty mobile blasting that I'm 70% set up for, and we'll be starting that on Saturday. That should be a fun video too. Trailer's moved over here for now because there's another wall neck swap on Sunday. So I was supposed to have Saturday, Sunday to blast this 60-foot trailer or 55-foot trailer. I now have Saturday, but I do have off of my day job on Monday. So I have to start blasting 7 a.m. Saturday, keep going until it gets dark and I can't blast anymore, see how far we can get on that trailer, and then go home, shower, eat, pass out for a couple minutes, wake up, crack of dawn on Sunday, load the trailer, go to the swap meet, and then ideally get home from the swap meet, drop the trailer here, wherever it lands, whatever is easy, jump back in the truck, back to the mobile job, keep working on Sunday, and then Saturday's gonna kind of determine. I might be blasting after wall neck swap on Sunday. I might just have to burn my day off on Monday working. One of the two, we'll see. But wall neck swap, Woodstock, Illinois, Sunday. Hopefully this will air probably Saturday. If not, this is gonna air the day of the swap and you already missed it. So thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe, all those other fun things. We'll catch you on the next one.